What's going on, everyone? This is episode 2 of the Rebels podcast presented by the Rebel Fitness. My name is Daniel Ramirez, aka DForce, one of the co-owners and trainers at the Rebel Fitness.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the second episode. Yes, my name is Pete DeGrandes, also one of the partners and trainers at the Rebel Fitness Camp.
That's right. And we're here joined with
Annie Bellinger,
nice.
member.
Annie Bellinger, the member.
And Maria Campisi, a member as well.
So everybody, what we wanted to do here, because we're asked this quite a bit, is what differentiates Rebel Fitness from other gyms? And why would somebody that's looking for a gym or to change gyms want to come to Rebel? So what we did is wanted to bring 2 really inspiring stories, members, this evening, and kind of really have them tell their story and their experiences from other gyms they have been to, and their experiences now over with Rebel Fitness. So, could even start with Maria.
Hi, Pete.
Hi there.
Yeah.
So, Maria, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then as far as your gym life experience, where you had gone before, and then we'll kind of start into where you are now and why.
Yeah, I'm actually in a stage of my life where I have 2 grown boys. They are in their 30s. One is 37 and one is 39. And
You have 30-year-old boys.
I do.
Okay.
Absolutely
Nice.
do.
Wow.
And
Congratulations.
Thanks. And I really enjoy going to the gym. I always stayed active. I found one of the bigger gyms and I thought, I can go to spin classes. I can lift weights. I can do whatever I do to stay fit, what I thought was fit.
And what was your experience? So you took spin classes.
I took spin classes. I did the weights. They had like the free weights, and then they had like the machines and that kind of thing.
What would be your usual experience? Like when you'd go to the gym, you go in, you check in, and tell us a little bit about the whole experience.
Yeah, you'd go there, you would check in, you were kind of on your own. You put your headphones on and do your own thing and just motivate yourself and hope that you got a good workout.
How about the other members? Did you meet people easily? Was it a social club, or were people serious when they were working out?
Not like Rebel Fitness. So I mean, it was a gathering place, but nobody really talked to each other. If you got to know people, like if you went to classes together, you would get to know people superficially, and you would see them in class and you'd say hi, and that was kind of it.
I'm certainly aware of the difference too between the big gym culture and ours, but what was it that first the first how can I say that you enjoyed, the first experience that you had coming to the gym now with regard to the other members compared to where you were before?
So one of the first things I noticed is everybody wanted to know what my name was. And they wanted to know, what do you do? What do you like to do? Because they were saying that there was all kinds of different activities to do here. And I was intrigued by it, and I was surprised by it. And they would encourage me to try different things. And so at Rebel Fitness,
Like what? What do you mean? Like what?
Well, one of the first big things that I tried was hot boxing.
That's right.
And it was like,
we know what it is. We all know what it is. We just, for people listening, want to know what is it that they do that's different?
Yeah, it was the same though. I was like, what the heck is hot boxing?
Right.
So,
I remember some of your first classes, and I remember you'd have the earbuds on, because I know sometimes I really jam up those speakers. And
I believe they're cotton.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, not earbuds. She had cotton in her ears.
Oh, just throw them in.
Yeah.
I would see them too, and in my head, it was actually a good reminder of, I'm playing it loud, and so I know that helps. I know that helps me as a trainer. You know, I'm not trying to blow anybody's eardrums out, but it's I was wondering if that was kind of just a sensitive thing, or if that was just a me thing, just kind of really like going really hard with that music. And I know it's already hot, so I know there's a lot of things kind of coming at you at once, especially if you're just trying out a new activity.
You want to know what the real reason is?
I do, yeah.
So what it is that I can hear the highs really, really well.
Okay.
And so literally the cotton balls, they mute the highs so that I can still hear the music and I can still hear everybody.
You were a singer, right? Or are
I'm a singer. Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's like I'm real sensitive to the sounds. I can hear all the different sounds.
Would you say you're an alto?
I am a soprano.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't even know the difference.
I can sing the high notes.
Oh,
Soprano
okay.
sings a high note. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What? So the hot room. When the first time you walked into that place,
I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
And even the first time that I went a whole hour, I knew that I had to prepare for it a little bit, but everybody was very supportive. And you know, boxing on each other and hitting each other's gloves. I was like, it was one of those things where if you had a bad day, that's
Right.
like the best place to go. You know?
Absolutely.
yeah.
Just relieve it. Yeah. Just do you, for the gloves, have you felt that people, because sometimes people hit pretty hard with those gloves having their bad day. Do you feel like your technique as far as just boxing has gotten any better, just kind of shifting towards that for a little bit? Because I know you were kind of on a tour there doing the hot boxing for a couple months there before you started to move on to other stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I really like it when people punch. It's like that's what it's all about.
Right.
And sometimes if somebody's not punching very hard, I'll just punch them a little bit and see if I can get a little reaction out of it. It's like, come on, let's box.
Maria, so after when we came on board to the gym, to Rebel, and started experiencing all the different classes we had. We started, which finished just before our first podcast, was the individual weight loss challenge that we did.
Mm-hmm.
And you were, full disclosure, part of Team Ice, my group.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And
That's cool.
did really well. I mean,
Thank you.
Really well. And so anyways, what, and again, about what's different with what we do. Okay. And what was it that worked with the group that we had, that you were able to lose the weight that you did and be as successful as you were?
Well, I think we all know how to lose weight.
Yeah.
I think any diet, any kind of cutting back on calories is going to get you to lose weight. The difference was the accountability. And Pete set up a chat group that, you know, randomly he would send us messages and say, okay, what are you having for breakfast? What are you having for lunch?
Yeah, that's what I
That's like send a picture.
Was that annoying?
No,
You
it's
just
fun
never knew
because
when I was going to pop up.
it became like this food art thing, you know, but everybody started eating really healthy and that kind of a thing.
Food art.
And then
You should see Jeff Scott. You should see. I got the photos. He would I think he would sit there and prepare what he was going to send us.
It was
like,
beautiful.
yeah, it belonged in a magazine.
But the key was we knew that every Saturday morning at 8 a.m.
Right.
Oh.
there was going to be a scale on the stage with a big giant spreadsheet that would show, did we lose weight?
So that was a deterrent during that worked, huh?
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So the video wall, the
Right.
whole thing was this massive spreadsheet that
Oh my
showed
gosh.
everybody's name and their progress, like
Right.
every week, what it was.
And the video wall is a 9-screen, 55-inch
yeah,
each
yeah.
screen.
Yeah,
Needless to
that's
say,
awesome.
your stats were just boom right there, billboard,
Plain as
billboard
day.
size. Yeah.
Plain as day.
That's right. Cool. So, Annie, did you do the challenge as well?
I did.
Okay. How much weight did you lose? And I don't think we said it. How much weight did you lose, Maria?
Almost 20.
Almost 20.
Yeah.
How much weight have you lost in your fitness journey with Rebel so far altogether? Would you say, or is it that 20?
I think it's probably more like 30 or 35 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
Annie, so what about yourself for the?
I gotta ask one question. Have you put any of it back on?
I have not.
Oh yeah, that's because isn't that the goal, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that, because we said we didn't lose the weight.
Yeah.
We got rid of it.
We got rid of it. That's cool. And Annie, oh my sweet Annie.
Oh yes.
That's Annie.
Annie, I've known you for probably almost 10 years ish.
10 years.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's right. 10 years. So we've been training together for quite a while. And one thing is, I'm very happy that you're here because I know you've been killing it in the and so because last time we left off in the first episode, Angela won everything. And how much weight did you lose? And because I know I didn't say how much she lost in the last episode. Angela, she lost around 32 pounds, which is nice. So we definitely have like goalposts now since we've been open for a year to kind of shoot for. How much weight did you lose in the?
For the challenge, I lost about 25, but I'm down to like 31 right now.
31 in total.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So, this is good. This is good data. This is good data right now. Because I mean, if it's 30 plus and around 30 for your year there, I think that's pretty good. With all these. Okay. So question. I guess there was to be a question for both of you guys. So, when we start challenging, there's a lot of people, and then as time goes on, people start to kind of dwindle down. And I know outside of a challenge, some people, they kind of show up and then they're kind of out for 2 weeks.
It
and
narrows
show
down
up.
to the committed.
It narrows down to the committed. Did you, and Annie, because I know you were working really hard. Annie was doing double. She was coming in at 4:45 in the morning, coming in the afternoons. Did it ever feel like discouraging? Did you ever think that and I bring up Angela because she was last here for the first episode, so you could go back to that for it. But did it ever feel discouraging? Like, oh, they're losing more weight than I am, or they have it easier than I do? Because are there any of those kind of mental blocks that kind of sway in?
I would say it wasn't discouraging. It was motivating, if anything. I mean, I would see Angela and Maria coming in there, and I'm like, Maria's in every picture. I'm like, wait a second, yeah. I need to get in there too. And I was telling her, like, there was one day I was walking out of the gym. It was my second class. It was the 5:15. And I was loading up my car, and Maria stopped me, and she's like, where are you going? Are you coming back? And I ended up staying for 2 more classes that night. So, if anything, it's motivating to see people doing better than you, because nobody's judging you. Like everybody's just wants you to win.
Were there times where you would get that, you'd lose, kind of the motivation, you'd kind of, maybe kind of fall off your program a little bit, but it was, again, that support structure that we have, that camaraderie, the accountability that's kind of like pulled you back in. Did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, since I've been back, because we know I've been gone, everybody knows I disappeared for a while, but I haven't felt that, honestly. I haven't. I mean, I've had my own, days or weeks that it was a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But since the challenge is over, it's just like, it's second nature. Like, I don't know.
You're on cruise control now.
Yeah, I don't even know how to stop. Like, it's just, I can't, my day is not complete without it.
Right. That's good. What about you, Maria?
If I were to be honest, I would say yes. I did have times where I was discouraged, and it's mostly because of my demographic, my age. And the thing about it is that I gained weight really slowly, but I also lost it very slowly. And what kept me going was the fact that the group was there. They were all encouraging. We're all in this together. And it just kept me focused on it. So that's what got me through it.
Right. Yeah, that's a tough thing, because, not to bring, my mama into this, but I know what that was. It was one conversation me and Mama Ramirez, my mom, had, and she had said the same thing too. It's just how, for me it's different. I only lose I don't burn 600 calories. I only burn 150 calories or 300 calories. You know, like, why are they burning, with your calorie chart, why are they burning so much? And why am I not burning a lot? And I've seen just, with her internal kind of like progression with that, and just kind of transforming that kind of mindset into, and it's kind of just moving your energy from that over to something else. And I know we try really hard to kind of keep, a positive environment with, everything out, like, politics, current events, bringing social media, whatever's out there. I know we try really hard to just kind of stay on focus when
make it an escape from a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know that'd be like a helpful tool to kind of stay motivated. So, I'm glad you're really taking it out, and
The one thing I want to bring up, we got to go over, which is something that you had just completed this last weekend. Okay, which, I mean, I've been at this a while, Maria, and again, your journey, and we've got a lot of them. Okay, and yours in particular really has been inspiring, and that's what you just accomplished this last weekend. And it was riding 100 miles in one day on a bicycle. And it was, it's like once we finished the weight loss challenge, then we moved on to the Cool Breeze Century, which was that ride. And
just describe this Cool Breeze Century, Mr. Pete.
So what it is, they have them all around the country. They have a lot of them in Southern California, particularly. Basically, what it is, it's for cyclists, people that ride bicycles. They have these well-organized events where, and it's not just 100 miles, but they call them century rides for 100. But they've got, it's not a race, though a lot of people, go race, they treat it like one. But anyways, what it is a well-organized cycling event where people come up on a designated and mapped out course where they have rest stops periodically, maybe 20 miles, 25 miles, but they have different distances of 30 miles, 60 miles, 100 miles. So as I wanted to, we finished one challenge, I wanted to start up another one, like you're doing, DECA and the Spartans and all that stuff. So I figured, you know what? I've always talked about bringing the road to the spin room. Let's reverse that and bring the spin room out to the road. And so I brought it out and introduced the event, and right away Maria she wasn't interested in 30, wasn't interested in 60. It was like, she was all in. She was all in for the 100. And so we had another group we started again, following the same formula, a chat group with people that wanted to do this ride. And so again, we started training, and every Sunday we'd meet at 5 a.m. We'd be pedaling by 5:30. Man. And we didn't have a whole lot of time this time, so I threw some ugly miles into their legs for that. But what was some of your experience with the training, getting ready for this, Maria?
The training, it got to the point where I didn't want to see another hill. I mean, it was like when we rode to Acton, we actually rode to Acton. I think there was 57 round trips, 55, something like that. And going there was, it seemed like everything was uphill. Everything was uphill. And you get little moments of downhill. Right. And so I've discovered that my favorite is going downhill.
The problem is you spend 45 minutes climbing, and the descent takes about 5.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So what I would do is on the downhills, I would just let my bike scream down the hill, and I would pass everybody. But as soon as there was a hill, they were gone.
Right.
But
what it was, left me in the dust.
What it was is again the support that we had in the chat group and meeting and holding each other accountable, and some of them were a little challenged with their schedule to get there, but we didn't have a whole lot of time. So we would do some special classes in the spin room that were tailored specifically, a little more higher resistance, and again our actual real road rides. But yeah, then it all came down to last Sunday. We had 4 people complete 100 miles, 2 complete 65 miles, and it was a wonderful day. It was a wonderful day. Right? You were on the bike probably close to 8 hours.
Yeah.
Close to 8 hours. You stopped for a total of 30 minutes.
Maybe a little longer. Yeah, maybe a little longer because we stopped for lunch.
Okay, so collectively, but so you were riding for close to 7.
Yeah. I was really antsy to get started. It was like they wouldn't let us start until the sun rose. You had to wait till sunrise, and I was just ready to go.
Yeah.
But it was like Pete kept telling us, "Okay, you got to pace yourself." And I could totally see like jumping off the start and just going. But in my mind, I was thinking, okay, pace yourself.
Right.
And at one of the rest stops, this one woman said, just think about this ride as 4 25-mile rides. And I was like, okay, I can get through that. I can do that. But near the end, I started to struggle.
Did you ever think you would do 100 miles in one day on a bike?
No. I mean, it was like when I was thinking about doing it, I'm like, 100 miles, I can do 100 miles. I'm going to do 100 miles.
No problem.
And then when it came down to it, I'm like, this is 100 miles.
Out on the road.
We're on the road.
50 got a little challenging those days.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the hills too.
So what we're gonna do is, now that we've got this one, it's got a lot of traction. Everybody's starting to ask about February, which is the Palm Springs century.
Okay.
So we're gonna do that one again.
Palm Springs. So that's January. So then when February. Do you think is? February.
Yeah.
So when is a good? What's a good like training regimen for something like that? Like if it's in February and it's cold.
We're probably going to start late October, early November and stuff. But there'll be some probably a more specific, appropriate training thing we'll do in the spin room. But mainly it's out on the real road. You got to ride
That's
out
cool.
there. So we'll get back to a early morning weekend road. We want you out there, Annie. You got to do.
Is that going to be the next one?
I got to get the gel seat.
All right.
Yeah. See, it seems like 100 is a theme because Miss Annie she just completed an August challenge, a work challenge, and maybe you should describe what all that's about, because this is separate from the gym. This is something you're doing. You signed up for this on your own.
Yes. Yeah, so some of my friends were inviting me to a challenge. Some Facebook friends and some friends from DC invited me to this challenge, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'm in 100 miles to run, walk, jog, just as long as you finish within August. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And then I'm like, okay, 3.5 miles a day. That doesn't seem too bad. And then I was like, well, this is kind of a lot, because I have kids, and then I still want to go to the gym, and I still got to work, and I do all these things. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to have to get extra miles in. I'm going to have to go on the weekends and do long runs. And then I kind of fell in love with it. Like I always said, I'll do like these running challenges or half marathons. And I hate running. I always say I hate running, but I want to love it. And I actually feel like I kind of love it now. I'm enjoying it.
Do you love the actual running part of it, or is it the whole setup, like waking up early in the morning, getting this stuff, like the tedious part to go do it, and then you just do it, and then is it the whole process that you're falling in love with, or is that even a thing?
Yeah, I mean, it honestly, I a lot of times run by myself, and it gives me a minute to just get lost in my head. I told somebody, it's like, by the 4th or 5th mile, I'm overthinking scenarios that didn't even happen. But, I'm just getting lost with my thoughts. And next thing I know, I'm like, oh, wow, 5 miles went by really fast. And then, the last weekend, I did 8 miles in a day. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that wasn't too bad. And I thought it was going to kill me for the rest of the day, but, I got up, took a shower, and then drove out to my mom's house and spent the day. And It was just like a normal day. It didn't, it was just, I don't know. I'm just falling in love with it.
And the point system or the winning system of your challenge, there was a first, second, and third. You know, and a girl, and he came in second.
I wasn't about to lose. Like, I knew I wasn't going to be able to catch the first guy.
Yeah, but you weren't going to let the third guy
I wasn't
come
going to let the third. No.
Can't get to you, but you ain't going to get it.
Yeah, so the last day was actually Monday. I had about 5 miles left to go. Took my daughter to lacrosse practice, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to stick around. And then I just ran up and down Smythe. Back and forth because, you know, it was just easier to do that than have all these teenagers watch me.
Right, watch you just chug along.
Yeah. So, and by the end of her practice, I was done, and I was like, good. I finished like way early. I thought I was going to be pushing on like the last day, trying to get as many miles in as I could, but I made it early, so that was cool.
I just can't yet any warm up to running anywhere near I do with like cycling. I mean, maybe it's because of the pace and the speed and the ground and the scenery I can cover in a certain amount of time compared to running. So
well, let me be clear. I am not a fast runner. I am a very slow runner. I will admit it. You know, one day I'll be faster. I've never been he used to always send us on runs, and he's like, you always come in last. I was like, and I always will. Like, I'm not fast. But you know what? I don't quit. So that's absolutely one thing. I
know you a while. And
I'll come into the race last, but that's all right. Yeah. I'm gonna finish.
Yeah, you do. You absolutely do.
Yeah.
So what's the next challenges that you guys are interested in, or might be thinking about doing, or toy around, or something that you've seen like, oh, this is kind of cool?
So I'm signed up for the DeckFit.
That's right, DeckFit.
Yep.
September 17th. We'll get into that.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And then after that, I committed to do the LA Marathon.
Ooh.
Wow.
Okay. All right. So now,
Yes.
now we're talking here. Now we're talking here. So we're talking about the 25 mile. We're doing the whole.
Yeah, the whole shebang. Because I've done 2 halves.
The 2 halves together.
This will be your first full.
This will be my first full marathon. And actually going into it I like running. Like, this is enjoyable to me. So I'm really excited. And Rolando's going to help me like put together a little.
If you can run 25 miles, you could cycle 100.
But my butt will hurt, Pete.
We'll get you one of those chill seats you were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there for sure.
Well, I'm definitely in for the Palm Springs.
Right.
And my ultimate goal is to they have a lot of charity rides that are 5-day rides, 500 miles from San Francisco to Los Angeles. I want to do that next year.
Charity rides.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how does that work? Is that like, does the gym sponsor you, or do we like pay every mile, or how does that go?
I think you get sponsors. I think, and there was one for a big pharmaceutical. They had like one for arthritis. Okay. And so I guess they raise money that way. So yeah.
Okay, that's really cool.
We'll sponsor you from Frisco to LA, no problem.
Yeah. We'll get a Rebel Fitness gel pad.
There we go.
Get them while they're hot.
So it sounds like, again, going back to, again, this is just something, we would just want to kind of drive home a little bit, because, again, the question is, why Rebel?
Yeah.
Why? There's so many gyms and stuff. And what would you attribute would you attribute your accomplishments, both the weight loss challenge, the last physical challenge you did with the Century? Certainly both of you plenty determined enough that if you had decided just to do it, you could have done it. What was the difference with what we had to offer?
I would say it's the people. And that was one of the things that I noticed that was the difference. I would not have even thought about accomplishing what I accomplished last weekend.
Right.
If it wasn't for people saying, you should do it. You should do it. Give it a try. You can do it. You're not going to get that in one of the bigger gyms. Mm-hmm. And another thing that I also noticed is, like, even aside from spin, even weightlifting or boxing, it was an experience where someone said, well, that's 20 pounds. You can lift that. I'm like, I can lift 20 pounds. I don't know about that, but I would try. They would encourage me to try. And it got to the point where it's like, yeah, you can do it. Now, how much more can I do? Mm-hmm. And each step of the way, the coaches and the trainers and everybody, they watch out for you and they encourage you. And that is the difference.
So you were constantly challenged to the next step.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And it makes a big difference because then you get muscles.
Right. That's good. And yeah, what about you, Annie? What keeps you? Let's say, you're, because since you've known some of the members for a long time, myself included, before Rebels, let's say if you were to walk in and you were to experience, of course, everybody's kind of experiencing it again for the first time, but for you, what would you say is keeping you there, keeping you motivated? Because, after, I was kind of surprised after the first challenge, you were still coming in early in the morning. You were still doing doubles. A few people were, and then you signed up for, your 100-mile, in a month walk run. And now you're kind of stepping up to do that. So what's empowering you to do all that? Is it accomplishments? Is it you're trying to set an example? Is it, what would you say is solely the gym, or what would you have to say about that?
Well, I mean, like I said, I was gone for a long time, and I sent you a message back in, I think, March.
You did.
And I was like, okay. And I even before that, I said, I got to get out of my head, but I need to get in there. But in March, I was like, okay, what do I need to do? Because, I can't take it. I was, fed up with myself. I kind of lost myself, with so much going on and things like that. I asked my kids, to be honest with you, this is our little personal thing. I told them if I go back to this gym, because I had a lot of anxiety about coming back because I just disappeared. Not that there was anything wrong with, the friendships that I'd made and things like that, but I just disappeared and I'd been gone.
But what was the anxiety? What drove that?
I disappeared. I mean, everybody knows, I fell
having
off.
The spotlight back at you.
Yeah. And I was just what are people going to say? What are they going to think? What are they going to ask me?
Other stuff.
Yeah.
And what are they going to do? Yeah.
Yeah. And, nobody did. So that's, I walked in there and, it was we picked up where we left off.
Yeah.
And I've never felt so, more welcome. And, but I asked my kids, I sat them down, I go, if I go back to this gym, first, let me back up. I show them a picture of what I used to look like back when we were training at the other gym.
Right.
And they didn't recognize me. They were like, that's you?
Yeah.
Dang, Mom, that's you?
Yeah.
And I was like, sheesh. I was like, okay. I said, if I go to this gym and I start over, I said, do you guys believe that I could look like this again? And all three of my kids were like, Mom, you can do it. And honestly, I hold that so
that was a moment.
Heart. Yeah. And so, whenever it gets hard, I think I was like, I don't want to let my kids down. And I've got my kids, I've got my teenagers are coming now.
Yeah.
And I took my son after he went to his first class. He's like, Mom, I want to go get, my own gym bag and all this stuff to carry my gloves and all this. And we walked into the store and he picked up a 30-pound, dumbbell and he tried to curl it. And I was like, give me that. And he was like, whoa. He's like, you could do that? I was like, shh, you don't know about your mom.
Wow.
That kind of stuff, I love that, to have my kids there and they believe in me. And this is a family. And, Daniel, and Pete, we've been working out together for so long. And, that's really important to me. This guy, he was the first class I ever took.
Right.
And he's just been on my case ever since.
Right.
So,
right.
And I appreciate it more than he knows. So.
Good.
He's DForce.
He's DForce.
DForce. Yeah. Wow. What a wonderful episode. What about, okay. So to just turn the tables, what would you think the gym could do better? Or what questions do you have for the gym? I'm not saying what we are kind of out of gym.
I have a question for you guys. What drives you to motivate us?
You want me to?
Whatever. Whatever. You could go first.
The reality of the accomplishment of our members, you guys setting those goals, and us. You know what? In the end, it's your determination. It's your mindset. You want it. Everybody, I want to lose this. I want to do this. I want to do this. It's, a lot of times a half-assed commitment. But it's when members like you guys get on a path to some sort of goal, okay? And we sense it. We know it. And you know it too. You tell the people that are there consistently. You know the committed ones, okay? When you are committed, you know the other committed ones. But it's working with you through that whole phase to accomplishment. I think it's the progress that we see, the transformations that we see. And I mean, I'll tell you, just recently watching you, come across that finish line, it was an emotional day for me. As much that was some day, because it was a long effort.
Yeah.
And same thing, the commitment that Annie has. So to answer your question, it's taking that journey with you guys and helping coax it maybe when we need to, if kind of starting to fall off path because life's happening. And it's just, can deter us in any moment.
Right.
So it's just kind of working through to a goal is what does it for me.
Right. Yeah. Like for me, for me, it's evolved. In the beginning, I really kind of, it kind of starts off like with Annie at the same time. It kind of starts off with family. So I knew my parents, and they're kind of they were my go-to. Like I knew after the other gym, they were just kind of lost. They didn't feel good going to another one. It just wasn't comfortable, and they weren't exercising. And I was starting to get concerned because, I'm whatever, but I knew how happy they were and how good their lives were turning just by having a good place with good influence. They were exercising, they were being healthy, and they had energy. So, I knew I was happy to get back into creating a place that would provide that for them, because in my mind, if it was them, it was a lot of other people. So if it's not one, it's many, so, but then it started to kind of evolve and transform so when I started seeing the progress in not just some of the members that we know, but some of the new members, when they come in and they start seeing, like yourself, Maria, you said, the people this, the people that, to me, that's where that's exactly what we wanted to do, because it's not about money for us. We're not trying to make, we're not even making money here. We're not even making money. We're giving, we're spending money because we know that the potential of this place and the environment can help so much more. And I know if it's helping my family, I know it's helping others, and it's helping me as well. I'm not the best at exercising. I don't think anybody is, really. We're all just kind of average Joes, and to see the same thing with Pete, to see everybody's progress and stuff, that I know that is something that we've kind of helped is worth more than any paycheck for me. And I know this works the same for us.
It's the transformation physically and emotionally. That's I think what we get the greatest joy of watching someone just walk in, and especially a woman who's just made that transformation, whether it's a weight loss goal, and there's just that blossom you see, sometimes, and that's again, watching thousands and thousands of faces and people over the years, it's a wonderful thing to see.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
I think if there was one thing that I would like to see more of, Manny does that hour-long weightlifting class.
Yeah.
Thursdays at 6:30.
That would be fantastic to do more of that.
Add another
Because
one of those.
yeah, well, because it's a lot of the classes are hot room and then
Right.
downstairs hot room.
Yeah.
So you really only get 30 minutes of weightlifting.
Right.
And I think there could be some real value.
Right. Going in more weightlifting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Manny will be more available. You just got a new soldier.
A new
Shoulder. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree. I think that would be more heavy.
That's right.
Weightlifting
You guys,
class.
so you guys are ready for that, huh? You guys are ready for that power.
Yeah, we want our muscles.
You guys are ready for that powerlifting. All right, cool.
Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, some of the stuff we have coming up, we mentioned it. Here is the DeckFit, and roll the tape. So the DeckFit event, it's September 17th, and we're hosting it. And so the Rebel Fitness is hosting this DeckFit Road Show, Deck Strong, I believe. And it's a 10 obstacle course, and there's stuff, because I don't want to give too much away, but it's stuff that we do in the gym all the time anyways. From slam balls to, let's say, to burpees, to box jumps, to lunges, to fireman carries, to dumbbell snatches, to barbell snatches. It's all stuff that is familiar to us, and it's kind of the thing that I've seen the fitness industry kind of switch over from, or is starting to kind of take a turn to doing more volume of, let's say, races or obstacles. There's been some obstacle clinics I've been noticing. There's some races that are coming out, and all these places, they're just kind of, from what I'm being told to in California, is kind of taking it by storm. So I feel very fortunate that they're going to use our spot, that we get to have some teams come through and just do their best. And it's just, once we get through the first one, we know what to do with the next one, and then the next one. And I know we really want to see our own potential, in what this gym can offer. And I'm glad we get to fit another event that only challenges like us as partners, and collaborating with different people, learning different techniques of just exercising, and of course meeting new people. So DeckFit, that's September 17th. It'll start in the morning around 8 o'clock, and we'll have the link. Up. And after that, we're still writing a program. There is we don't know what to call it yet. It's kind of the end of line program, because our mission, we want that 6 months picture. We got the befores, we got the afters, we want the 6 months, and that's a goal we're really, really shooting for. So DeckFit, September 17th, we're excited again just to collaborate with different people, with different athletes, with just a whole new different type of environment, and we hope other gyms can join in this collaboration movement too, because everyone so far that we've been meeting, we're kind of forming this kind of like-minded environment, not just with our gym, but other programs too. So building those type of relationships I see a whole lot of value in that too. It's just kind of taking what we do internally and kind of just taking over and meeting different organizations, different companies that are kind of doing the same.
So in addition to that, we have two others. One is finite and one is infinite. And by that is we got the Palm Springs Century, okay, coming up for our cardio crazies and stuff like that. That'll be a fun event. We'll have a lot of people. We'll probably spend the night out there and then do the ride. But the one program really that we're going to continue on where the last challenge left off.
Right.
Okay, guys, because there's so many, again, challenges. You have the 60 days, the 90 days. There's a before and after picture. Where's that third picture? Where's the 6 month later? Where's the 1 year later? So that's really where, again, what the program that we really are looking to offer is with a food-focused, life-changing or lifestyle changed program coupled, okay, with an enjoyable exercise program is keeping it off for good. Really, guys, ending the roller coaster. And that's just something that you just see constantly. People, they lose weight and they put it back on, lose weight, put it back on. How do you keep it off? And it's not always getting on diets. There's millions of diets, so it's really the formula and program that we have that really just kind of ends that roller coaster forever. So that's, we'll probably be about maybe the next podcast. We'll get into that one.
Absolutely. Yeah. In the next podcast, we'll probably be having that all written up, but at the same time, we're just going after, we're trying to do more stuff for the community. So we've done some concert in the parks, in August. We've done this back to school event, which was really cool. And that is just helping us just expose ourselves more to just the community, just more of that one-on-one. And we plan to do more of that. So, I mean, final thoughts, Annie?
I'm just so grateful for you guys to be a member. Like I said, when I came back, everybody members, trainers, owners, everybody was just with open arms. And I'm so grateful because I'm finally getting myself back and I'm just on that mindset. It's just like nothing can stop me at this point.
That's right.
We're grateful for you guys. Yeah.
I'm glad I took a chance. I really am. I mean, I've accomplished things that I never thought I could accomplish, and I couldn't have done it without the support.
Right.
And it's been awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for your time in coming over. I like to, of course, learn more about the people that we have, because we talk every day, but there's like, you have kids? I'm just kidding. I know you have kids, but just get to learn more about you and the whys. So we see everybody coming in, and they all have their whys, and they talk about it. But I mean, this is nice that we get to have this opportunity just to kind of dive in a little bit more on what we do.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks for your commitment.
Thanks for having us.
It's what keeps us, like we said before, it's what keeps us going.
Yeah.